Hello everybody, Jay Barino here, continuing StarCraft Mass Recall, a StarCraft Brood War remake in StarCraft 2, Mission 6 of Overmind, the Dark Templar. So we're going to face off against some Protoss similar to Mission 2, except probably much harder. There's a lot more Reavers in this map, which is generally how I will define the difficulty versus Protoss when playing Zerg. And like I've said in the past, I'm really not keen on going Mass Mutalisk, which I think is a pretty straightforward and almost simplistic way to beat every Zerg mission possible, unless you're going up against Corsairs, which the enemy will not have yet, maybe a lucky High Templar Psionic Storm, which we can at least dodge. So as long as the enemy has no AoE anti-air, we are in just fine shape. But I'm not doing that, I should say.
Do you feel that, Cerebrit? The Protoss are here, on Char. They have been for some time, hiding. Protoss Commander, it was folly of you to come here, for I am Kerrigan, and I am Queen of the Zerg.
I know of you well, O Queen of the Zerg, for we have met before. I am Tassadar of the Templar. I remember your selfless exploits, defending humanity from the Zerg. Unfortunate it is to see that one who was once so honorable and full of life would succumb to the twisted wiles of the Overmind.
Do not presume to judge me, Templar. You'll find my powers to be more than a match for yours. In fact, I sense that your vaunted power has diminished since last we met.
Mayhap, O Queen. Or is it only that I need not flaunt my power in such an infantile test of will?
Foolish Templar. Prepare your defenses. I will come for you soon.
Tassadar getting some good jabs in. Alright, exterminate the Protoss intruders. Kill everything map is basically what this is. The annoying thing about this map is that I'm pretty sure all the expansions are in inaccessible ground locations. You have to drop over there with overlords. No access to Nidus canals or anything like that yet. Near the Protoss forward base, Char.
I sense something strange about this Templar. Perhaps you should reconsider your attack.
For the last time, Zaz, you question my motives and authority at your own peril.
You dare threaten a Cerebrit? You'll be the doom of us all.
Sorry, Zaz. Alrighty, let's get going. Our spawning pool is sort of inconveniently in the exact place I'd like a hatchery to be, and then we would have just made another one closer to the Vespene Geyser. Look at these retro mod guardians. Very cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's just get started here. I suppose let's go ahead and grab this. Do I have Kerrigan? Kerrigan is in fact on the map. Let's hotkey her so that she doesn't just die, but I do plan on using her in some fashion. What I am going to do, though, is take an Overlord and start floating over to the right, because that's going to be the first base that I will look to take. So we can make Guardians this map. I'm thinking we do like a Guardian Hydralisk Zergling combination again, or I could just do Mass Mutalisks, which there'll be some instances, specifically Eye for an Eye, where I might make some Mass Mutalisks, but that goes hand in hand with some pretty crazy defense. I don't know, we could talk about that once we get to it. But the point is, I'm not going Mass Mutalisks unless I absolutely have to in the future, so. And there'll be a few times, but not too many. Same with like Mass Battle Cruisers, Mass Carriers. We'll do it, but only when we feel like we really have to, or just because we think it's a neat mission to do such a thing. Alrighty, well, let's just get our economy going. We do have Kerrigan now with some fatty Razor Swarm. She's got Razor Swarm, not Psionic Storm. It's, in my opinion, that's sort of a fitting change, so I think that that's fine with me. I'll get a few more Sunken Colonies, maybe a Spore Colony here or there, and then perhaps Lurkers, but I can't really afford them right now, so let's just keep focusing on getting our economy going. I'd like to get a second hatchery pretty much as soon as possible. Alright, and then Kerrigan is melee, so she's just going to run in there and get hit and hopefully not die, but we'll focus on keeping her alive for a while now. Anyway, again, seriously, the layout of these minerals is terrible. I'm going to make a second hatchery and plop it down right here, like pretty much right up against the spawning pool, and hopefully that will help a little bit. Okay, let's just do this. We lost our Sunken Colony. I should have thrown that down a little earlier. For some reason, I hesitated thinking, can I do friendly fire to my Sunken Colony? The answer is definitely not. So this mission is going to become much more challenging once the enemy starts sending Reavers our way, but that's pretty much why I'm going to have a small group of Mutalisks and or Guardians pretty much out there specifically to go for any Reavers en route. Also, I assume the enemy is going to be sending Observers our way. Here is the expansion that I'd like to take. Not a lot of minerals, but there's some minerals there, not a good amount, though. So let's go ahead and get our lair right away so that we can get Overlord speed and transporting. We don't really need Overlord speed, honestly. We do definitely need transport, though. So I think we only have one major ramp here that the enemy is going to be coming at us from. Yeah, it's right here. So let's just go ahead and get a few more colonies to spread the creep back out where we've already lost it. If we want Lurker aspect, it's quite expensive. And let's just focus on getting some more drones out. Once this hatchery finishes, our economy will improve noticeably, I believe. Anyway, let's just go ahead and try to spread the creep so that we can bottleneck the Protoss on the ramp. If this is where they even came from, I'm not sure if they came from the other direction or not. Let's go ahead and check. I didn't think there were... I thought there were 2 ramps. Yeah, there are 2 ramps. Okay, well, the hatchery here is going to be able to keep an eye on that. So let's go ahead and move this stuff kind of down here, so that we can catch them no matter which direction they're coming from. Let's go ahead and queue up more drones. Never mind. Let's go ahead and get some Overlords, and we can spend our extra money on... Well, I'm thinking we get Ventral Sacs pretty much as soon as possible. Theoretically, the enemy won't go out of their way to drop on us. I don't know, though. Keep in mind, the enemy attacks are completely programmed, so there's no way that from well, there would be a way to say, like, if the enemy owns a hatchery in this location, drop on them, because that's sort of what happened in... Not the last mission, but the last macro mission, where I took that central island and then they started dropping there. So that definitely can be programmed in a way that can react to your expansion. So I shouldn't be making any assumptions, and I will have to defend that area pretty aggressively. Okay, and again, I'm mostly concerned about Reavers coming out. So the thing is, I could get Burrow, but they're going to have Observers anyway. I could just burrow a Zergling out here and see if there's any Reavers on the way. Okay, let's get in there. Go ahead and throw down a Razor Swarm on top of the Dragoons. Look at Kerrigan just taking a butt ton of damage here. Okay, well, I just ensnared my own units, but I think it was worth it at this point. Okay, and this is why I'm thinking we go ahead and grab some Lurkers, or we start getting Lurkers at least at this point. So we do have near full saturation on the Geyser, not as much as I would like. Ventral Sacs coming up. You actually need to be researching. Just because you have a lair doesn't mean it unlocks the other Overlord upgrades. So I will go ahead and queue up Pneumatized Carapace, because I know it's something that I want and need eventually. Especially when we go and attack the Protoss. Well, we don't really need it when we attack the Protoss, but we're going to need it if we want to successfully transport our stuff. So I can't really take any more chances. I think I just need to clump up a few sunken colonies here. And rather, I'm not going to clump them up, because then Scarabs will murder them relentlessly. But let's just go ahead and keep saturating this, and we almost have enough. There we go. So let's go ahead and load this up. Wait, that one was holding a mineral. That's 8 minerals. We can't afford to miss out, especially now. Okay, so let's slowly, very slowly go ahead and come on over here, and I'll just set up a bunch of spore colonies here, and hopefully that'll be enough. Okay, Hydralisk Den looking good. We can get Metabolic Boost, get some Zerglings, and let's go ahead and get at least 1 Evolution Chamber. I like the look of the Retromod Evolution Chambers. They definitely have that StarCraft 1 Evolution Chamber look. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that this is about as saturated as we need it to be. I'll go ahead and let's move this Overlord back so we can make a second run at it. All right, you Zerglings. I think I just need more Hydralisks at this point. Let's go ahead and turn these into sunken colonies. And then my existing Hydralisks I'll turn into Lurkers, which I can do now, actually. They're, what, 5,100? They are. So let's go ahead and change those, and then just set those up right here. We're definitely going to need some Spore Colonies, because I'm going to guess that there's going to be a very, very large Scout attack. Pretty much coming soon right now, I bet. So I'm going to need some more Hydralisks. I know I just made 1 or 2, but we're going to need more of them. The Lurkers are slowly coming out, though, and hopefully that'll help. And then I need to save my money to set up this expansion. So hopefully we're on track right now, but it's kind of hard to say. Okay, and I'm going to spread these out a little bit, because frankly, I sort of expect, again, I'm expecting Reavers, so we don't want to be taking too much crazy splash damage. The Lurkers are honestly here primarily for Zealots. I'm going to say they're primarily here for Zealots. That may be wrong, at this point, but I'm pretty sure I need them specifically for zealots. Okay, this defense I'm feeling much safer. We'll still be throwing down Razor Swarm, or maybe if we can catch them in time, we can hit them with an Ensnare. Now we're definitely going to want to save my money so we can throw down a hatchery. I'm curious to see how the bounds of the map are going to work out here, because in the original, you couldn't quite fit your hatchery in an ideal spot. You had to, like, build it out to the left, and it was a terrible placement. It looks like they extended it a little bit. Let's throw down an Ensnare here. We're going to lose one. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. Okay, there's the Reaver. Okay, Kerrigan, don't. Not to the Reaver. As you can see, the Reaver's going to do a ton of damage to my defensive emplacements. It tried, I don't know why it decided to move up there. But the Lurker's doing great there, and I think I'm even going to get 2 more. Well, that's kind of overkill. Let's not do that. But we will get more Hydralisks, though the Hydralisks will die very quickly to Reavers. I'd like to get a Spire, because we're going to need air units specifically to deal with that kind of stuff. And we can start transporting a few drones over to the other side. I still haven't started building this hatchery, so this is actually a waste of drones. But it's too late. I've already committed to it, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the death of us. Hopefully not. Those famous last words. All right, so we got the Spire coming up. And I just need to get more sunken colonies, though. Again, let's focus on actually holding on to our money. Yeah, okay, so I can't move it up anymore. So this is the edge, and this is still, I feel like, a little bit closer than what it used to be able to have here, so that's nice. I probably should have brought some defensive units over with me in retrospect. Let's go ahead and resaturate this base from what we used already. Even just with 2 Guardians, I'm feeling pretty good with our defense, though I'm definitely going to want to get 1 or 2 more sunken colonies, and like I just showed, I think it's absolutely worthwhile to keep the sunken colonies spread out so that the Reavers aren't doing such horrible damage. Such horrible damage in general that... Okay, there's the scouts that I expected. Draw them into, at least draw them into a spore colony. Kerrigan, I think, can attack air. I think they added her ability to attack air, and we can also do this. I think I just killed... Oh, I just killed a bunch of my own larvae, but I think that was worth it, and now we know where the air attacks are typically coming from. Okay, my Spire's done. Let's get +1 air, because we're going to need it. This is just coming up now. We're going to need more drones. Let's just go ahead and try to saturate this more. I've been struggling with income and a balance of basically staying solvent with my money while, well, I mean, you're never going to go negative with your money. It's not like we're in so much debt that we have to declare bankruptcy in StarCraft. The point is, we won't have enough money to actually build any sort of successful attack. There's also... Let's see, did I lose my other Mutalisk? I think I did. There's also a base down here on the left that if we make enough Mutalisks, we can take it. Probably just like 6 to 8 Mutalisks, we can come up here and snipe the base that's up here. This is a nice mineral base. You have to drop on that one as well, and once I take it, I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm going to need to defend it with specifically anti-air. And just in case, let's go ahead and set up a couple colonies here. I think one right here, and then let's just wait for our Overlords to finish. We do have Overlord speed, so if we have to run away from scouts, hopefully we could get a few Overlords out. I guess we just want to stack spore colonies over in this direction, because otherwise I'm just pretty much defending exclusively with Kerrigan and mobile Hydralisks. Let's see, we have all of our Hydralisk upgrades. We have Adrenal Glands. I can get Antenna, but I don't need it. I think right now I should just really focus on getting more drones. And, well, it seems like we're my cup overfloweth with Vespene gas. At this point in the game, we're not really spending it, but once we start spending it specifically on Guardians, that's when I'm going to wish I had more. Let's go ahead and get 2 more Evolution Chambers so we can get these upgrades going like crazy. 1 Spire is enough for me, I think. I assume we can get +3, considering we can get the Queen's Nest Hive. Okay, here comes the next group. Kerrigan, where are you? I really don't want her to be in the front. Let's throw down the Razor Swarm again. And they're retreating again. Where is the Reaver? I bet the Reaver is probably still retreating. We're losing like 1 or 2 sunken colonies per attack here, and we have to just make sure we keep it up. Very tempting to get more Lurkers, honestly, but I don't want to abuse the Lurkers. I don't want to abuse the fact that I have Lurkers, is how I should phrase that. Okay, so let's see. I'm pretty much waiting for money so I can get this all queued up here very, very soon. It's just a struggle to get economy going on this map in particular. Because if you take any extra bases, specifically this one, which is where we could get the most money, we're gonna struggle with defending it. So I think I will go ahead and get 2 more lurkers, and maybe we can move 1 or 2 of them up here. Again, I don't anticipate the enemy to drop on me up here, but you can see they're throwing in so many scouts with their attacks that we will struggle. We will definitely be struggling with anti-air at some point, and I assume those scouts will either divert up here or over here. And if they divert up here, I'm kind of screwed because I don't really have enough to deal with them. I will make 1 more spore colony. Okay, we still have our 2 guardians. Let's go ahead and get +1 carapace. The lurkers have been doing very, very well. Okay, let's just keep them spread out. They're probably going to get hit by splash damage when they're spread out like this. It's just kind of superfluous for me to do, but I will spread them out at least a little bit so that they're not all getting hit by asshole. Assholes. I'm not getting hit by assholes, by Reaver splash damage. Okay, so let's start getting a group of Mutalisks to become Guardians, and we're going to use the group of Mutalisks to take out this base so that we can hold on to it. So that's step 1 in our initial conquest. Once we take that base, then I will, well, hopefully hold on to that base, and then also... Oh, now they're coming up the other way. I should have known. All right, throw this down right here. I don't see a Reaver swarming its way up. Really keeping an eye on those Reavers is crucial. Having Kerrigan here, I don't think I ever used him in any of these. I used her in any of these early missions, and now I am, and it's awesome. Okay, we're waiting for this to finish. I suppose I can get another Spire while we get a Hive. Okay, so let's take this group of air units and move over to the left. I really want to take this base. We're going to need the minerals to be reinforcing very, very quickly in the future once we start our main attack. Hive is coming up. We don't want to rally up to those units. Unfortunately, Spawn Broodlings doesn't work on Reavers because there's no pilot inside to infest. But that would be really cool. Okay, let's move on in here. Weak Mutalisk, get in the back, and then we're just going to let our Guardians peck away, and then focus down the Dragoons. I highly anticipate the Protoss are going to come and try to reinforce this area. There's a Reaver up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more drones, and then grab 3 or 4 of them to bring with me. Okay, and then let's come on down here and take this base, and we're going to leave these air units here to pretty much just defend this area. Did I kill the Reaver? Let's make sure it's gone. And I also want to double-check that, yes, there is indeed not a way for the enemy to get over here by ground. At any minute, though, there might be another scout attack, and that would be a big pain to deal with. Okay, this is done. I suppose we can get Antenna. Again, I'm not really thrilled with the Queen abilities right now. I don't need them. Okay, drones. I forgot that there was a Vespene Geyser up here. Frankly, I'm more concerned with the minerals. We can just sort of put the hatchery right in between. Double Reavers. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's very bad, actually. Let's see if we can drop a Razor Swarm on them. That might kill them. If it doesn't, we'll drop another one. This is why I think it's going to be important to leave units at home to deal with that. Let's go ahead and, again, spread out our colonies. All right, this is building. We've got more drones. I'm going to send this Overlord back to get more. And I still might just go ahead and leave more stuff at home. Let's get +2 everything. Now we've got the money. Let's go ahead and get Adrenal Glands and then just start pumping out Hydralisks and Overlords. So now, yeah, as I have the money, as I have the income that I really need, that's when we're just going to start getting crazy with pumping out as many units as possible to basically flood the Protoss. And many of them will die in the initial attacks as we push towards Archons, Reavers, High Templars. Specifically the Reavers, honestly. I mean, Archons aren't too bad when you have enough units to just crowd around them, but we will definitely face issues. Okay, so this is about what I expected to happen. Let's see if we can actually draw these scouts. Come this way. Let's see if we can grab my other units down here. Hydralisks and Kerrigan specifically, and we'll just set up a bunch of spore colonies. We'll just set up a butt ton of spore colonies. Now, I kept a lot more of those Mutalisks alive than I think I could have if I let them sit. Okay, so yeah, Kerrigan can attack air. That was not in the initial game. I think we can, we'll all agree on that, and nobody's denying it. All right, so no need to shout. I think it's a welcome addition personally. So, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. It's my opinion though. I think it's a welcome addition. Okay, so let's bring the Guardians back home so we can focus down Reavers as they come about, and then keep queuing up our upgrades. I don't really think there's any other upgrades to get at this point. I'm just going to focus on keeping this saturated. And now that we have this base, I am very, very comfortable with our situation. You know, we've shown with Kerrigan 2 Razor Swarms, which she should have enough energy for at any given time. Can hold off against groups of Reavers as long as we give the Reavers something else to shoot at. We saw that the enemy definitely diverts their attacks, so we're just going to need a lot of Spore Colonies here. I'm thinking 5 or even 6 is overkill, and we're blocking the Geyser, but I don't particularly need the Geyser right now. Okay, and then I have an extra drone here. All right, so I would say we're on the cusp of getting ready to move out and attack. We're going to particularly be using Guardians, lots and lots of Guardians. This poor guy's stuck. Let's turn all these into spores. My only issue is if ground units swing over in this direction, they're going to be able to see up the hill, and then they're going to be able to start attacking my drones and the colonies, and then I'll have to move some units out. And that's not a big deal. If we have to do that, we have to do that. Okay, so Mutalisks, you're going to be Guardians. We can definitely afford you now as we get +2 of everything and eventually +3. Got this coming up, and I could go ahead and saturate this gas. Probably going to need 5 on this because we're blocking it with a Spore Colony, but as we've seen, the Spore Colonies are sort of necessary. Got our Lurkers. None of them have died. I'm surprised. I mean, I suppose it's because the Protoss are attacking up other avenues that I originally didn't expect. Let's go ahead and move one Lurker over here. Try to keep them behind my colonies. So this hasn't been too bad. I've been playing relatively safe. I'm taking a lot of time. That's typically my thing, is I'm taking a lot more time than perhaps is necessary to complete these maps. I'm just gonna get two more hatcheries. My other ones are on raised areas, so there's no point in making ground units from there and adding them to my group of hatcheries, in my opinion, because I like to keep them all grouped, and then I'll just spam Zergling Hydralisks out of them, and unless it's Mutalisks, they're just gonna get stuck up here. I have no way to easily get units down, like through Nidus Canals, because I could, set rallies through Nidus Canals. Unfortunately, that's just not gonna be an option. All right, so let's get my units over here, except Kerrigan. Let's Razor Swarm right there. I think that, that was very, very good. We hit pretty much everything. We're also hitting some of our own units, but overall, I think that was absolutely worth it. They're not bringing observers, or if they are, they're not close enough to see these Lurkers, which is very important. I guess I need to reset up some colonies. It's weird how they went from attacking over here to over here. I don't understand why. Okay, let's go ahead and get some Guardians. We lost some Mutalisks. And then let's just go ahead and grab some more Overlords. This base, luckily, has been virtually just left alone, which is wonderful. We'll get more Overlords over here. And then we'll have enough Overlords probably for the rest of the mission as we just wait for money. We're just waiting for money. And this is classic StarCraft 1. You see there's patches in the middle here. Like, this patch can't even be touched until we mine through some of these lower patches. It's just the way that StarCraft mineral layout used to work. It's very goofy. There's still some decent minerals here. I'll resaturate this because I plan on using these drones up here to make colonies anyway. This is fine. I could probably get a couple more, but this is mostly fine. Go ahead and throw one more drone over here. You actually have to separate your drones a little bit because these over here, they generally won't split over to here if they realize mineral patches are full. They'll just sit and wait because this is technically considered a separate, like an entirely separate patch of minerals, if that makes any sense at all. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. Okay, so how much for +3? It's 700, isn't it? That is very expensive. We have the gas, though. We have the gas. Okay. I am vindicated in my overabundance of Spore Colonies. That worked out just fine. Let's go ahead and get +3. I sort of regret not just trying to push out at like a +1 or +2 level. We probably could have just flooded in with lots and lots of Zerglings, but now we're over-prepared. We're going to be over-prepared. We'll be able to build way, way, way more stuff, including more Guardians. Kerrigan's going to stay at home. And then we're just going to make lots of Zerglings. We're going to use the Guardians to start attacking the bases, draw the enemy units out, and then push in with our Zerglings and Hydralisks. And as I explained that, I was actually making hand gestures, like pushing into the enemy base, because I apparently think that people can see me right now. That is not the case. I think we can all attest that that's not the case right now. So I think we have enough. I'm going to wait for the next enemy attack. Because as we've learned in the past, as you wait for the enemy attacks, that means that they will have their base cleaned out and will give you an opportunity to move in and make something happen. So that's what we're going to do. This Spore Colony is not impeding my mining progress of this geyser as much as I would have expected. What a dream! What a dream. Also, if we wait for the next enemy attack, we're just that much closer to getting +3. Again, I've been playing really tentatively so far as I've played through Overmind. Maybe I'm equating every mission's difficulty to an eye for an eye, which I think was probably the hardest mission of the entirety of Overmind, which we'll be coming up on here in about 2 maps. So, yeah, I guess I think the first time I played this, I've gained a little bit of skill. Not a ton, but enough skill to maybe distort my own impressions and confidence of how I can perform on these maps. So let's just make a bunch of Hydralisks, and I'm waiting, Protoss. I'd really like it if you just came and tried to attack me. I'm waiting for the opportunity to annihilate you. There's a base down in the bottom left, and perhaps over in the right. You know what? I think it's just the entirety of the bottom right. All right, let's move everybody over here except Kerrigan. We don't need to use her here. Now they're attacking the Lurkers. I have path blocked myself. What are they? They're 1-2-1. We're almost 3-3-3. Okay, we need to move the Hydralisks in. Hydralisks. They're just moving in a straight line through this small area. This is why we're going to need more Hydralisks. Okay, everybody move on down, except Kerrigan, who's going to stay at home. And then we're just going to get more Guardians and Hydralisks and Zerglings and just rally them on. To one of the Guardians, I guess, because the Guardians I expect to stay alive a bit longer than everything else. So let's just take everything and scout out where the enemy bases even are. I don't even remember. I think I'm conflating this map with Eye for an Eye. And I think in Eye for an Eye there's a map, there's a base in the bottom left and a base in the middle right. In either case, I guess let's just send some Zerglings out here. Yeah, there is nothing in the bottom left. There's this big area with Dragoons, like a giant area of Dragoons. It's really bizarre. We can send everything in. I'm pretty sure there's no Reavers here unless some have been added. Let's quick save before I eat my own words. Yeah, this is a great area for Zergling Hydralisk. You know, you don't want to push into here with Guardians and draw all these Dragoons on top of you. That would be a mistake. We're about to be +3 everything. That's a dream. Okay, and then let's just get more Zerglings. And this is now where we're going to have to start being careful. We're going to primarily be using the Guardians to push into these bases. There's lots and lots of Dragoons here. They're trying to replace these Dragoons. All right, kill the Reaver. That Scarab was garbage. Okay, there we go. My Guardians can take some hits. Okay, and the Protoss base is not here. It's up this ramp. So let's go ahead and start pushing through there. Move everybody close. Let the scouts come. And again, my goal is to just cover the Guardians. Some of them will die as they get focused down by scouts, but I don't want to move. I don't want to be moving all my Hydralisks in to get killed by Reavers. It's very, very important that that does not happen. I will rally up more. Okay, and just let the Guardians do their work. Just let the Guardians do their work. They can handle this pretty much by themselves, and there's a Reaver. My main goal is, you know, kill the Reavers. Don't let them massacre my stuff. Okay, now we move in. We killed one of the Reavers, which I'm sure they will replace. We are +3 Carapace. Guardians do have some survivability. Okay, again, stay slightly in the back. We can send Zerglings in kind of down in this direction to scout out for where the Reavers might be. It does not appear that there is one down here, so let's go ahead and attack down in this direction. There's also a starport, or a Stargate. It's a common faux pas that I make frequently. 2 separate races. Okay. Scout going down. No Reavers down here. There's probably some Reavers further up. So let's let my ground forces deal with that while we take our Guardians and we go and deal with whatever's up here, which is probably going to be a Reaver of sorts. I actually think that there's another small base in the upper right that we may have to destroy. But as you can see, super overkill. Overkill the mission right here. We just annihilated the Protoss, like way, way, way more than is necessary. You know what I'm going to do? I'll leave Kerrigan. We're going to need to put her in an Overlord. We already have Overlord drops. And the way that the map is set up, it kind of forces you to get Overlord drops to take the expansion, so you'll be prepared for the little goofiness that happens at the very, very end of the map. I think there's a Reaver up here. It's going to kill a bunch of this stuff. It'll be really funny for everyone to watch. Unless, yeah, well, there's one shot. Oh, there's 2 Reavers. Oh, God. There we go. Oh, that only got 2. I am just so terrified of Reavers. I hate them so much. All right, this should do it. before the semi-end of the map. Just a few pylons up here. Get rid of those. Wonderful. Ahem. Okay, Zerglings, come on down here. They may have rebuilt, or there's something in the bottom left.
The hive cluster is under
Are you kidding me? Okay, well, get a few Hydralisks. And is it something in the upper right, perhaps? Let's go ahead and make Mutalisks right now. And we'll use them to fly around and figure out where we need to go. I obviously have left... Oh, really? Well, they sent probes out and rebuilt this. That's theoretically all this is. There might be more to it, but can't be sure. Yep, that was it.
Where are you, Tassadar? Do your underlings always do your fighting for you?
This shall be our battleground, O Queen. Face me here, and I will defeat you myself.
Tassadar with his fancy new portrait. Okay, bring Kerrigan, blah, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so let's send her down in the Overlord and drop her off right on the edge. And we got a dual Tassadar. So let's think of some strats against Tassadar. We'll cloak. He won't be able to see us. That'll be kind of funny. Ensnare, perhaps, just to slow his attack speed. And, you know, if he's confused and he's not right on top of us, we throw some Razor Swarms down. This is a very important fight. There he is. Okay, get out of here, Overlord. I don't need you interfering. All right, ensnare him. Get in there. Easy peasy. Good thing we planned that out.
An illusion? Are you afraid to face me, Templar?
So long as you continue to be so predictable, O Queen, I need not face you at all. You are your own worst enemy.
That was a cool little addition there, with the flash of Zeratul killing Zaz. I like that a lot. Hey, so this mission took about 8 years longer than it needed to, but you know what? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I enjoyed playing it. I'll try to be a little more prompt in the future. I don't see a reason to draw these out as long as I have been. It's kind of ridiculous how long I took there. That did not need to take that long. Alrighty, I think I could have done that in about 2/3 that amount of time after finishing the map and realizing how little the enemy had. I don't know why I thought there would be like 6 Reavers in that base or something, but there wasn't. I've been playing too much StarCraft 1, and StarCraft 1, those custom campaign macro maps have really set in my head how the AI can really spiral out of control with that kind of stuff that they have in their base. Alrighty, well, this has been Jay Barino. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.